Marco. What's up, y'all? What's up? It's been a minute since we did a Marco Polo. I have been so busy with Living Single Diaries that my Marco Polos have been building. Like, I have a list of polos that I want to make, and we're starting here. What's up, y'all? It is Monday, April 8th, and today was not only a new moon, today was a solar eclipse. And I told you guys in entry 2 that I am an astrology girly, and the astrology readings were potent. Between Mercury Retrograde, between the new moon, and between the solar eclipse that's in Aries, baby. So much so that I really want to talk about it. So let's talk about it. I am not a day-to-day astrology girly. In fact, I would consider that more so like horoscope. And I do think that there is a difference between horoscope and astrology. My beliefs are very much rooted in the solar system and how the planets and the stars move and align. And pretty much every cosmic shift of a full moon and a new moon, I can feel it. But in moments like this where the cosmic energies are just apparently chaotic, and baby, today was chaotic. Today was very chaotic, but we're going to take it for what it is. I find myself being called to astrological readings. So I have a content creator that I really do trust and adore, Alina Alive. If you type her into YouTube, you can find her. She is the number one YouTuber on the astrology side for me. She did this wonderful almost 2-hour video breaking down what to expect throughout this new moon and solar eclipse period. This eclipse will be visible in certain parts of North America, certain parts of Mexico, and Canada. I am in Georgia. We did not get a full solar eclipse. It was partial, but I got an opportunity to see it with my solar eclipse glasses, of course, and it was still a sight to see. Now, what did my reading say for me? We're going to go through my sun reading, my moon reading, and my rising reading, because that's how amazing Alina Alive was. She went through all of them, and we're going to talk about it. I wrote it all down in what is currently functioning as my journal. We talked about my currently functioning journal in entry 5, so make sure you go check it out. Oh no, I am definitely plugging these entries, whether it's Living Single entries or Marco Polo. I'm gonna plug it if it's gonna give you extra context. Go watch it if you please. In case you do not know, your sun sign rules your ego, your identity, and your role in life. It is your core, and I am a Leo sun. So my Leo sun reading spoke about an opportunity for expanding my understanding of things. So she talked about the ignorance tax, which is a term used in entrepreneurial spaces. You inevitably end up paying this ignorance tax whenever you start a new project or you start a new business and you don't know what you're doing. And so because you don't know what you're doing, you either end up paying monetarily or paying with your time or, paying in some form of fashion. And she spoke about how there are things going on in your life that you are trying to pursue, things that are going on that you are trying to achieve, that you, as a Leo sun, are finding yourself during this new moon solar eclipse in Mercury Retrograde, where you find yourself working too hard to accomplish the task at hand. And the way this hit immediately, I cannot tell you. I have spent the past couple of weeks thinking about Skillshare alone. Y'all, I need to sign up for a Skillshare membership. And I need to do it a couple of weeks ago. The way I need to sign up for a Skillshare membership, okay, let's run down the list. 1, I'm trying to set up a website for this business I'm starting up, and the website is about halfway built. You know, it's good looking and I'm getting the job done, but I'm working too hard. And if I just took probably a single class on how to build a Squarespace website on Skillshare, it'd make the process way easier, thus eliminating that ignorance tax. If I took a Skillshare class 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 on editing in Premiere Pro, it wouldn't take me hours on hours on hours to edit. Maybe I'd learn how to actually do transitions. Please note, my transitions look the way they do because I don't know how to properly do them. And every time I try to fiddle around with that system and do a fancy transition, my file breaks. Anytime I try to do anything remotely fancy, my file breaks. And it's simply because I don't know what I'm doing. So I need to take a class. The way I'm going to need to take Skillshare classes whenever I get my hands on a vlogging camera, which is coming soon, I'm going to sign up for that Skillshare membership. It's going to happen. This solar eclipse for my Leo sun, for my ego, identity, role in life, ruling sign, is a potent opportunity for me to reassess, reflect on my relationship with learning new things. And I'm going to take that message and I'm going to roll with it. Let's move on to your moon sign. If you didn't know, your moon rules your emotions, your moods, and your feelings. In other words, your self-view. And I have a Capricorn moon. So my reading for my Capricorn moon was surrounded by karmic lessons. The analogy that was used was, there's this mess over there that I know I should have cleaned up. In fact, let's use a real world example. There's a load of laundry over there that I know I should have folded, but I didn't get around to folding it. But I didn't get around to cleaning up that mess. And now here it is, all this time later, and I am tripping over this mess. I am tripping over this basket of clothing. It is in the way. It is slowing me down. This solar eclipse is going to call me to take aligned steps with what I say that I want. It is calling me to walk the walk. Do my actions align with my words? That's pretty much the entirety of the first quarter of this year, okay? And it has rolled over into Q2, and I am a work in progress, but I am hyper aware that I am my own worst enemy and that it is time for me to start putting certain things into action to manifest the life that I am dreaming of. I am on a health and fitness journey, and this month I am trying to address my diet overall and the regularity in which I eat. Also, I've been walking a lot more. There's going to be another Marco Polo coming out after this one about my exercise journey. I signed up for my personal trainer today. I told myself back in November that I would sign up for a personal trainer on April 1st. And there I was procrastinating again. But income rolls around April 8th in this solar eclipse. And my astrology reading is saying, baby, are you walking the walk? There are other areas in my life where I need to walk the walk. But I'm going to leave that example there and go ahead and move on to my rising sign. So, your rising sign, for those of you who do not know, is your personal style, how you come off to others. In other words, it is your mask. And I have a Gemini rising. This is where this cosmic reading took off for me. Okay? Alina Alive, the way she structured her videos, she went sign by sign by sign where you could fast forward to your relevant signs. And, you know, I went to Leo for my son, and I listened to what she had to say. And I listened to what she had to say in regards to my ego, in regards to my identity, in regards to the core of who I am. You know, that fiery Leo sun. Then I jumped to Capricorn to hear what she had to say about my emotions, about my mood, about my feelings, about my self-view. And now I'm hopping to my rising. Let me see how my mask is presenting itself. And let me just actually look at my notes here. I'm trying not to look at my notes too much and read what I wrote. And what I wrote is kind of chaotic. You can't see it, which is the point. But the way I journal is very chaotic. You think my vlogs are chaotic? Gemini rising. Look to experience a spark of change, particularly around community building and budding relationships. These new experiences with community bring feelings of hope towards what could be. It opens a window of possibilities. This solar eclipse is calling my Gemini rising to respond to the calling of these experiences, to say yes. This solar eclipse can also manifest new, creative, progressive, innovative ideas. And there was a note to lean into community for support. And it was a note that community brings auspicious air. Lucky air. March 1st, I joined a social group here in Atlanta for Black women. And I have been thoroughly active. I have gone on a hike. I've gotten dinner. I've gone to the spa. I've met up with a wonderful young woman at a farmer's market and established a random connection. I went to a book club meeting. I laugh more. I feel for the first time in a long time since college that I've found this budding community around me. And this started before the solar eclipse. Then we talk about the days leading up to the eclipse. Sunday, I was out in these streets, okay? Socializing, laughing, making jokes, enjoying myself. In addition, I've been a bit reflective on some of the established relationships in my life and what they bring to me and whether I should move on from some. And not to mention my job, which she mentioned right here at the bottom towards the end of her Gemini section, where she talked about career and public image in correlation with your ambition and goals. And particularly for myself, for a Gemini rising, let's remember your rising is in relation to your mask, how you come off to people. And the way I have been politicking and presenting in the workplace, the way this job has been challenging me socially. The job itself, I can do. Deadlines are crazy right now and I have so much work to do. But the social game, the corporate games, I am learning how to exist as a Black woman in a very white male dominated space. Let's do a quick recap because I'm not sure how rambly this Marco Polo was, but that's the nature of Marco Polos. They're going to be rambly sometimes. My Leo sun is calling me to pay close attention to the areas in which I am paying the ignorance tax. And I am being called into action to close the gap. If I'm going to be able to handle all in which God has in store for me, I need to clean up some of the areas in which I'm overexerting myself unnecessarily. My Capricorn moon is bringing to light karmic lessons. I need to clean up my messes before I trip over them. And if I trip over them, take note of my trips, why they're happening, and how I played a part in it. because I probably played a part in it. And lastly, my Gemini rising has a particularly potent energy around community building and budding relationships. And I am taking this sign to remain consistent in seeking out the community I wish to build. This is affirmation that I am taking the right steps. This is encouragement that friendships are on the way. This is excitement towards the possibilities. She literally said these relationships, these new relationships open up this window of possibilities for your own life. And that's truly how I feel when I'm around these women. Just from the conversations I've had with some of them, you know, their own personal life experiences, their motivations and their struggles as Black women. It helps. It's called me to expand my thinking. And I am here for it. And I am going to remain strong and steadfast in the corporate politicking I've been engaging in lately and continue to refine my skills. Thanks for dropping in on this Marco Polo. I'm going to wrap it there. Stay tuned. Another Marco Polo is coming. So, like I said, I've been really caught up with my Living Single diaries. Now that I am finally caught up on my editing for that, we're going to stay caught up. And in the meantime, I'm going to catch up on my Marco Polo ideas. Just to provide a little sneak peek, a little teaser trailer. We have my quarterly book tag coming up where we're going to review the books that I read in the first quarter of this year. I'm really excited for this one. I mentioned before that I have a fitness polo that is on the way to mark the beginning of this year's fitness journey, but there are going to be a couple of polos to track my fitness journey. I also want to start my studio tours, so I'm going to have a mini series within my Marco Polos where I give you a tour of my space and how I've decorated, because that is a minor hobby of mine, interior decorating. I have been playing around with where is the best place to just sit down and talk to the camera in my house. And entry 5, I recorded a lot of my talking head videos right here in front of my TV, which, yes, sits on an easel. It is a frame TV. I have put my mood board on my TV because why not? I have curtains here to block out the light, and I have light coming in on me directly, and I can sit in my stool and be comfortable. And so I'm thinking that this is going to be the place where you guys see me when I want to talk to you guys. And so there are probably going to be quite a few Marco Polos in this area as well. I'll still sit on my couch and talk to you guys on occasion, but like realistically, like videos like this, it's not really practical for me to sit in that couch and have this conversation and record and have proper lighting and all the jazz. Anyways, let me wrap it up. Thanks for spending some time with me. Thanks for doing an astrology chat. Oh, by the way, guys, I had my moon earrings on because, you know, it was a solar eclipse and we had to celebrate. Bye, guys. Polo.